Pregame.com.
Welcome to Pregame.tv. Vegas runner, myself, Brady Kannon, here on a Wednesday for you. Steve Fezzik was in on Tuesday this week. We miss him, but he'll be back with us next week. And we're going to get rolling here on Week 15 of the NFL. We've got 3 games to talk about this evening. First up, the Thursday night affair. The Denver Broncos will be hosting the San Diego Chargers, a rematch from their meeting earlier this year. This time they're at Mile High Stadium. And the Broncos are a 10.5-point favorite for the Thursday night special, the last one of the year this year, VR. And we've both been pretty decent in prime time.
Yes, we have.
What are your thoughts on this one?
Yes, we have. You know me, my first instinct is to look to the dog, look to the under, and take it from there. Because usually on primetime games, you know the bias of the casual bettor is to the favorite and the over.
Yep.
So my first original lean is dog and under, and I work my way out from there. It's not blindly bet them, but I'm going in thinking I'm probably getting a little bit of shaded value that way.
Sure.
Not against Denver, though, because here's a team that is really tough to go against. And I know they played each other not long ago, and San Diego played them tough, lost that game by only eight points.
Almost right on the number.
But when I looked it back, and what I realized was Denver had KC, New England, KC. That was their next 3 games. I think they were kind of looking a little bit ahead at what was coming up.
Sure.
Even though San Diego's a divisional game, they weren't a test to do anything to them as far as the division goes. Right. They knew they had to win the next game against KC. They knew a big game against New England on primetime, and then KC again. So I think they may have, pulled off the gas a little bit. Otherwise, I think San Diego would have been in a lot more trouble because when you have a defense that allows a quarterback rating as high as they do, I think Peyton Manning could just rip you apart. And let's not forget, the Denver Broncos right now, they are playing for something. And that something's extremely important. Forget the division. It's home field advantage in the playoffs.
And they only have a 1-game lead in the division.
Exactly. So to me, I can't say go against Denver here. I can't think I'm going to grab all these points with San Diego. I like the favorite, and believe it or not, I like the under. I know the line opened 53, 53.5, shot up to as high as 57 I saw today. You got to ask yourself, was the odds makers 3.5, 4 points off, and that line's going to keep climbing? Probably not. So I do think there's some value in the under there, and when I really broke it down, stylistically, I don't think San Diego is going to put up the 20 they did at home. I mean, the first time around that they're going to do
plays
now.
A little better at home too.
Exactly.
Interesting. Denver on Thursday nights 5-0, perfect 5-0 against the spread and straight up. Also interesting to note, after they play Tennessee, they're 0-3 against the spread. Tennessee, a pretty physical team, maybe beats them up a little bit. San Diego, we saw it earlier this year when Phillip Rivers went into Arrowhead Stadium and pulled out that victory. Great game to watch.
Absolutely.
One of the best games to watch of the year. He's a very good road underdog.
Yeah.
In division.
I agree. It's just that 6.6 yards per play that they allow.
Yes.
And you look at an offense like Denver, and it looks to me like almost they could name the score offensively.
Well, that's what I've got down here. The stats are very similar for both teams here on offense. The one variance is the fact that Denver scores so much. San Diego doesn't score quite as many. But like you say, the defense, it's a big difference in yards per play that they give up. Let's go ahead and make a pick. It is a 10.5-point spread, and I'm going to look at the underdog here. We know how powerful Denver is, but believe it or not, when they get late in the season and they start laying double digits, they aren't very good at all. We talked about earlier in our discussion that San Diego is a very good road underdog in division. Phillip Rivers has a tremendous record. He is 6-0 as a road dog in division. The Chargers have been very successful at Mile High Stadium, 6-0-1 against the spread. Now, also a trend to pay attention to that has been prevalent here on Thursday nights is the underdog and the over the total. So we're looking at the underdog. I like that side. The total has gotten way out of whack on that number, but I wouldn't be surprised if this game does turn into a shootout. We talked about statistically these teams are pretty evenly matched. The only difference is Denver scores a lot more points than San Diego does, but as far as yards per play, third down conversion, all that stuff is very similar. On defense, however, they both rank in the bottom 10 of the league, but San Diego gives up a lot more yards per play than Denver, and that could certainly lead to Denver's advantage in this game. It could come down to all about the defenses in this game, with the offenses being relatively equal. Now, The spread is really where I make my pick here because I make this game 8.5. Obviously, it's now 10.5, and I think once the recreational bettors get involved with the TV game, the final one of the year, we could see that spread go even higher. I'm going to take the Chargers on Thursday night plus the 10.5 over the Denver Broncos. One thing I also want to mention, VR, Phillip Rivers, we just got a look at Tony Romo last week and, his problems on Monday night with the Bears. Phillip Rivers is really like the anti-Tony Romo in December. True. He has a tremendous record in December for his career, 27-6 straight up, 20-13 against the spread over the entire length of his career. So we're betting he's got some more success in him on Thursday against the Broncos.
I like they know now we don't plan this.
Yeah.
I came in like in Denver and the under. You like San Diego and the over.
I like the Titans last week getting 12.5.
Right,
but,
right.
They blew them out of the water. It was close for a while, but no, I'm not disagreeing with you necessarily. This Denver team's powerful.
Agree.
Well, we're going to talk about a couple more football games here on the Week 15 schedule when we come back. Stay with us. It's pregame.tv.